So how do you get started?
How do we get started?
Welcome back to another episode of afroVIVID. My name is Safwan, and we have Beltus in the building.
AKA Afro Podcast. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. We also have Medis in the building.
Yep.
On the regular.
On the
Of course. And we got Shauna in the background. Shauna is, how does Mickey used to call it? Friends of the show?
Friends of the show.
Yeah, pretty much the ones that don't want to be on camera, but yeah, definitely thoughts are valuable as well. So, how you guys feeling so far? How's the weekend going?
It's been a long ass week, man. I'm happy it's the weekend, but the week is about to start again. Starting Monday.
Yeah. So the weekend be going pretty well for you?
Yeah, I mean, weekend pretty much just started. This is a good way I started my weekend doing a video. I should keep going from here on, but
All right.
let's see how it turns out.
You got any plans?
Not really. I'm still trying to get back into it because the person I used to do my videos with, my best friend who passed away, it's been 3 years, going on 4 years now.
Wow.
That's the guy who used to edit my videos, pretty much give me ideas to shoot videos on.
Oh man.
Now he's not here, so it's like school, everything. I'm not trying to give excuses, but school, everything is overwhelming. So finding time to sit down and make a video.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, you know, when you used to work with somebody so close and it's not like you guys just split, but like you passed, and you're always going to have that memory coming back when you try doing it. But RIP to your friend, man.
4 years, about to be 4 years soon.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But
man.
I'm doing this for him, so this video is going to be a good video.
I'm sure he's going to be happy.
Facts.
Yeah, definitely, man. Should be a motivation for you now, man, to keep going.
I have to. Man, we reached 240 subscribers, and then it happened.
Yeah.
So we have 240 subscribers waiting. So this video, I would say this is a return video.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I normally try to hop on Instagram and do Instagram live, but
All right.
social media.
What got you to starting the podcast, by the way?
Starting the podcast was mainly I just love the continent of Africa itself, the diversity, the different cultures, language, food. You know, it's just, to me, Africa it's something that not too many continents have. So I felt like creating a podcast like this. People say it's not a podcast because I'm shooting a video on it, but I feel like it's a podcast because you get to see who's speaking. You get to try and connect with that person and understand what he's saying, but pretty much introducing the culture of Africa to America, because I feel America is still lacking that. There are a lot of African Americans here who don't claim the continent of Africa, which is pretty much sad. But, you know, I can't tell somebody what to believe or think.
Yeah, and also like with the Afro beats, the music popping up.
It's
But
everywhere.
There was a very long time where you know,
Oh,
a lot of people just don't know much about Africa. You know.
Yeah.
those days of coming to this country where Africans are being made fun of, that shit has gone. Nobody remembers that because of how much African culture has impacted now. Like now, I don't know if you guys know about girls trip or road trip, girls trip or whatever it's called. They're shooting the second movie in Ghana. Shout out to
The
to my
movie.
Ghanaians.
I heard that.
That's
Wow.
like a big step. And then I also want to give a special shout out to Davido, who literally tells artists here to go and see Africa for themselves, because America paints a bad image on Africa overall. So I always suggest people see yourself. And then the thing is, like, Ghana is doing a specialty. I wouldn't say specialty, but a specialty where if you're an American, you move over to their country, they give you land where to build your house, and then they help you grow a business so you can bring jobs. So tell me a country that is not better than. Tell me a continent that's not better than Africa.
Only
a good.
Africa.
Thank you.
That's a great idea. Now I see like why like a whole lot of Americans, even when it comes to like the entertainment, like the rappers, like Kendrick Lamar was there
Exactly.
in Ghana not too long
Even
ago.
Dave Chappelle.
Mick Mill was at the Afro. Is it Afro Fest?
yeah,
Something
Afro
like
Nation
that.
Fest.
Afro Nation.
Yep.
Chance the rapper also was there.
All of them, because they're starting to understand.
And also the other dude, what's his name? Vic Mensa. You know, he's mixed with Guinean.
Yeah,
His
even
dad, so he took him. I think he was the one that made Chance the Rapper to like organize that event.
Oh really?
Yeah.
shout out
That's
to
good,
Afro
man.
Nation. Even
That's
though you guys
good.
did me wrong in Puerto Rico, shout out to you guys.
They cancel it.
Nah, it's just, bruh.
Go.
I went. Don't get me wrong, but it's like only Davido's lineup made my trip worth it. Everything else was trash.
Like the artist.
Yeah, Burna Boy canceled.
Wow.
They had to bring who in replace that Rose guy. What's his name? Rose.
From here.
Yeah, it's an American rapper.
Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. Him.
Okay.
They had to bring him. They had to basically compromise for people not showing. Megan Stallion was there. I mean, no disrespect to the American culture, but Afro Nation. I was thinking more of like African artists coming to be exposed to the American culture, because there were a lot of African Americans there. But hey, it was still a good turnout. Afro Nation Puerto Rico. I'm going there. This
What, they having
this
another
June.
Puerto Rico one?
So they have U.S., Portugal, and Ghana. Ghana and Portugal were the first two.
Oh,
They
so it's
just
just those
started
four countries.
Yeah, it's just those two countries. Then they decided to start expanding. They have Cancun in Mexico. Then they have here in the U.S.
Interesting.
Where's it gonna be in the U.S.?
I think it's
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
I mean,
Isn't it coming up soon?
yeah, I give them good promotion on that because spring break,
Yeah, it's on.
everybody goes to Miami. So that was a smart move.
Yeah.
But it's a 2-day thing, which it's still kind of sad to me. But hey,
Well, you want it to be more than that?
it's supposed to be 3 days. 'Cause that's how every other concert
This is
is.
you're asking too much.
It's
now,
not
man.
asking too much. It's more of
I'm
like,
just
you know,
messing with you.
people pay the money to get like a 3-day experience.
Right.
And Portugal gave it, not Portugal, Puerto Rico gave us a 3-day experience that I will always cherish, because I never used to fly out of America. Then I forced myself in getting a passport, even though I didn't need one. But hey, it did me good. And shout out to Davido again, man. Shit, that man came with fucking energy. That's all I have to say.
Seems like you're a Davido fan.
Big fan.
Man.
Like, who's not in love with Davido? No
Man.
base shit, but who's not love? You know,
I mean, so you would pick Davido over like all
over
the-
Wizkid and Burna Boy.
Wow.
Any day.
Really?
Any
Wow.
day. Any
for
day.
his music or just
His
because
music, the way he makes Africa look in all, I give it to him.
Yeah.
Man puts Africa first before any other thing.
No. Other artists.
Yeah, they do, but
the reason
Davido-
why Davido is because he talks a lot.
What do you mean he talks?
He
about?
talks a lot.
And
I feel
what-
Like he likes to talk. Pretty much, Burna Boy don't like to talk. Whiskey don't like.
Yeah,
to
you don't
talk.
hear from them.
So
True.
it's hard for them to say stuff. They just like minding their business. But Davido,
I feel like
not saying it's bad. It's not.
Yeah,
bad,
no,
but
I
he's-
feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
But he also grew up in America, so
Yeah, so he understands both cultures.
He understands the culture. I feel like what actually got him like collaborating with like a whole lot of American artists as well. It's just because like his style, right? Like when you see him on social media,
That man
he's
has
just like,
style, bro.
yeah, he's just like an American guy. So it's easy for him to like even his music as well at times. It's pretty much like always have like different European musicians on it. Yeah, but that's good though. I heard he recently lost his son as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's sad.
Rest in
Unfortunately.
peace. I don't even know the kid's name, but rest in peace. That has to be something that nobody wants to experience.
For sure.
At what age was he though?
I don't even
I
know.
think it's
Probably
about
2.
2 or 3.
Damn. Gotta suck.
I don't be keeping up.
Yeah, man. But like this, like the second time it's happening to like
To artists, yeah. Is it
The bench.
Banky? The bench?
The
Yeah, the
bench.
bench, yeah.
Oh, he lost his kid.
Yeah.
The same way.
Same way.
Damn.
Like the kids
So
just like walked into the pool,
So
right?
then they need to put a
Yeah, that's the same
bruh,
thing I was thinking too. Like if you're gonna have a big house like that,
and a pool. You need to put
you have
something
to
around
make
it.
sure you have like security measures for like a little child like that, because kids they're always curious to like find out.
My thing is not saying to blame anyone, but in terms of something like that, you should. Well, this is my point of view. A mother, you should be there to take care of your kids, right?
Yeah, but they had a nanny.
No, I know, but regardless what it is, you should be there. Not saying all the flashy stuff is good, but you should always be there. Not, make sure your kid is always good for you to do anything.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
That should be your first job.
Yeah.
Not to, go out flashy. I don't think
So
that.
the thing is,
I don't want like.
No, I'm not blaming her. I'm not blaming her.
so the
Just-
thing
just
was,
saying.
they went on I guess a family. It was a wedding thing they went for. So, I would take my kid along, no matter what the situation is.
Oh, this wasn't in their own personal house.
Yeah, no.
No, I
They
think-
traveled.
It was. I
Was
think
it in the
it's
house or-
Yeah.
Where the kid died.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died
At their house.
in their
So they
house.
left. I don't know where they went somewhere else, but they, again, Davido has a lot of people in his house. A
Yeah,
lot.
so he has a chef. He has
So
security.
if you have
nanny.
friends coming over, like to me, your life should be when you come home. That's it. Like whatever happens, friends, you should have boundaries where not many people you would allow in your house, because there were music, there were other people as well. So no
And
one
everybody
was,
just forgot about the kid.
pretty much, yeah.
Because it takes some time for like somebody to drown and stuff.
Hey man, we can't.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't want to.
I feel like there was a lack of responsibility from like everyone that was in the house. I mean, mostly the parents, right? 'Cause
Right.
you always have to be when the child is that young, they can't really like they don't have control on themselves. They really depend on you like so much to the point like you just whenever you think you're supposed to be thinking about that.
So my thing is that I don't want to put the blame on anybody for the kid passing, because how I see is
That's on everyone.
sometimes, not to be blunt, but sometimes people have to pass. Not people have to pass, but sometimes it's just your time, and that's what it is. If it's your time, it's your time. You can't really.
Yeah. So how do you feel about, since we talking about kids, right? So how do you feel about all these new stuff that are being imposed like onto our kids at school, particularly?
Me, I
In
don't.
terms of like gender wise, like exposing our kids to know all this stuff at a young age.
One, I don't support it. Two, they're forcing it in so many ways. One is, okay, Disney Channel. I don't watch Disney Channel
Oh
anymore.
boy.
Okay.
Like, I know you guys are gonna get a lot of controversy on this. But
Definitely. Well, look, I want to get back to like touching like kids being exposed at a very young age, like
Right.
let a kid be a
choose
kid.
yeah, exactly. And to me, that's like very terrifying for someone that have like two little brothers and stuff.
Right.
Because like, what do you expect the kids to know at that age? There's a reason why like parents don't even have like sexual conversation with their kids,
But they want to force.
but they want to have
They want to force.
they have them like choose like what sex they think they are, like
Or
how
what they want to
feel.
identify themselves as.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, man. I just feel like it's just a whole different culture now,
Right.
or a whole different thing that people are pushing, and especially when you come back to like the Disney, right? Like back home, I used to like when you hear Disney, it's like for the kids and stuff like that. But to me, Disney really feel like 18 plus now, man.
Exactly.
Because they have what's this guy name? Little X Nas or
Nah.
whatever his name.
Don't
There was
want to
a-
get
there
into
was
that
some time
guy.
like he was like one of their bigger
Influential person.
influencers and stuff, and
I mean, you can be whatever you want to be. Don't get me wrong, but then the thing is, when you try to force it on a kid, telling a kid that you can pretty much identify yourself as whatever you want to Kids don't understand what you mean by that. And then the thing is, when you start involving it with school, it's a whole different ball game.
All right.
And a lot of parents have pulled their kids out from school because of that rubbish. So
it's definitely a difficult thing to kind of be in. You know, I like, again, I don't have a problem with it. That's none of my business. But it's just, you know, in terms of my kids, I determine how I raise my kids.
Exactly.
You determine how you raise a kid. So if I want to raise my kid in a certain way, allow me to be, you know, do that, and I will allow you to do the same thing. But don't come here and tell me how to raise my kid. Like, no, that's just, you know, something that I don't agree with. Whatever's going on is none of my business, you know. But it's just in terms of teaching, saying you want to teach my child. So now it's like my child is gonna learn when they leave the house, and then come home, and I'm trying to teach them something. Now it's like, okay. They're gonna have two different ideas. Now let me teach my kids the way how I want to raise them. Simple. And I don't have a problem with whatever someone want to be. That's none of my damn business. I'm out of my business, you know.
And there was actually a show that I watched as well, right? Where like one of the parents, like her child apparently got asked in school like to choose like the gender and stuff. I think that was like one of the assignments, and the kid was just so confused. So she went back home and like asked the parents, like, what am I? Like, what is this? What does this mean? What does that mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the parents got really upset because she was like, man, I have never had this conversation with my child. Like, how am I supposed to like explain to them now?
Right.
So it's like they teaching the kids, they putting the kids in these situations, right? That the parents, they're not even making the parents aware.
Right.
And now the parents like they just like kind of like shocked when the kid
brought it up,
stuff like that, right? Because they just don't know how to explain it to them.
Right.
So the one of the parents was like, man, that should be like the parent job, not like any school's job, to like have my child like teach my child about sex or like gender. That's supposed to be like left with the parents at home, and the school's only supposed to teach the kids like school related stuff. But I think the bigger issue now is like we having like laws that come to different countries, right? Where like for example Canada, I think they have a law where like if the child decided to like want to be called like a different sex and stuff,
I don't understand.
And you the parents like disagree to do that, you don't call them by whatever sex they choose to be identified by, you could get in serious trouble.
Man, that, yeah.
So you that was saying,
no, man. I'm sorry, but that's not gonna happen for me. That's not gonna happen. I determine how to raise my child. As long as I'm feeding my child, I'm not, abusing nothing. Yeah. They have, they're living comfortable. Who are you to, tell me how to raise my damn child? Like, no.
And the crazy thing is that they don't.
I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen, man.
They don't understand what's clearly happening. The fact that this brings me to the point of where, because a lot of kids want to change their gender, and that's like a big thing to do. As a kid, you don't know that, you're a kid, kids go through a lot as they grow up, and that's what adults have to understand. So if a kid automatically starts saying this, they're her, pause, think, where is he getting this from? Let me just say kids have a lot of emotion. As kids, they're going to behave with a lot of emotion. But then you got to let them grow up, because what I'm saying is leading to this basketball player basically helping his son transform into a woman, which I don't understand. It's not my opinion. It's not my business, and I don't care about it. But then the thing is, like, when this kid grows up and he's fully, I wouldn't say a woman, but whatever he is, he's fully whatever he is, and then regrets the thing he has done to his body because he wants to be a man. There's no reversal. So you got to put a lot of thought into certain things when you want to involve all of those gender things in school, because you're complicating a lot of people's lives, especially kids, because kids would think so many different ways. Kids think think many different ways. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, I feel like you have to allow kids to go through it first.
Exactly.
And once they're old, they can decide whatever they want to do.
Exactly.
Which
is their own money. No money.
No money.
Nah, once they get old, hey, you feel like you this, you that, go for it, do you, man. That's none of my damn business. But at a young age, you should allow them to live that normal life where they're not exposed to so much. Allow them to live as a child, go through the
Kids are a
emotions
sponge.
and all that stuff,
Yeah.
And when they're older, hey, they can do whatever they want to do, man. But I think that's we also talked about it we had an episode where people are saying like they want to be called either she or he, they.
I'm sorry. Somebody actually asked me a question. So if you're working like in a corporate job and somebody that changes him, let me say a man changes himself to a woman, but then comes to the office and says I identify as a her, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna fall in your foolery. Because if I know that you're a man and I've known you as a man,
Wait, that's what you
and
know.
then you turn around to tell me that you have to start calling me her, I'll look at you. I'll not really laugh in your face because at that point I'm wasting my time.
No. But you don't have to if you don't want to call
I'm not
them
gonna
her.
identify you.
You can call them by their name and keep it simple.
I will, but then my thing is I'm not gonna be like, because if I know that I used to call you bro.
What are you gonna call it?
Exactly. I'll still stay calling you bro. And then my thing is, if I'm working in a
Okay.
I feel sorry for people who work in like fast food and stuff because they have to deal with stuff like this. If I know that you're a man, but you have on woman clothes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna call you sir. I'm not gonna change because you want to be identified as a her.
Okay, put yourself in the situation, right? Because I mean, sometimes it's very easy for us to get lost because we're not in like those people's shoes, right?
Right.
Let's say like in your past life, right? For whatever reason, right? Life was hard for you, and you feel like the best way you could survive was to pretty much do whatever, like whether it's take life or like do prostitution and stuff like that. You did that in your past life, right? And you come to an age where like you get to realize that I want to change. Like now I want to be a man of God and stuff, you know. And you have like people that like used to know your past life and stuff.
Yeah.
And even though you want to change, you've already a changed man like for over years now. And all the stuff that you used to do was like when you were pretty young, may not even like fully matured yet. Like when you were making those decisions, right? And now you're a pastor of the church. But you have like people that just don't, take you serious for it. Be like, nah, you used to do this stuff like back in the day.
You're just saying.
So-
How would you feel like if you in that type of
So
situation?
my thing is, human beings will always be human beings, and they fail to understand that no matter what situation it is that you've been, God has forgiven you for it because you turn to Him, and you're basically spreading His word for Him, right? A human being's opinion or say shouldn't ever in your life affect you. That's how I can put it.
Okay.
So me, I would not care. I know that I used to have that life, but now I've basically been delivered again. So it's like I have a new life. That other life never associated with it's never gonna associate with me in this current life. So the fact that you're sitting there and still thinking about my past life, it means you have a sad life. You're worried about what I have going on. You're not worried about yourself.
Yeah, but I think we also have to understand that sometimes like you seem like a very strong-willed person. Like your mindset is pretty strong, but a lot of people are not like that, man.
No, I understand.
Especially people that grow like on this other side of the country, like they can easily get like stuff that like may not offend you. It can easily like offend somebody. I feel like that's where all this power is coming from, right? Because for some reason, like it's like people in the LGBTQ, they just have like this so much effect and like laws and stuff like that. I'm not saying like it's for the good or for the bad, because at the end of the day, like people get to choose like whatever they want to be, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Go ahead.
if there's one thing like that separate like human beings from animals, like animals, it's or like from every other God's creation, right? It's the fact that we have free will to think whatever we want to think, or like do whatever we feel like doing, and whether you believe in heaven or hell, then damn it have an impact in like how you act, or like how you choose to like do or say things. And at the end of the day, like if somebody just, if you feel like you're something else and that's you, but
Don't try to force on somebody else.
I think where the problem comes is like when you try to force it on other people
to accept it.
to accept it. We kind of did see the same thing with COVID as well, with the vaccine, right?
Yeah.
When like it started becoming, even if it's good, whether it's good or bad, right? But if it's been forced to you, your subconscious mind going back, nah, man, like why are you forcing me this thing? Like even if it's good, if it's that good, you don't need to force it to me, right? So that we saw that like with COVID as well. When people are being forced to like take the vaccine, you tend to see like people like, man, I don't need it. Like it's,
and the
people start making like all this.
And the thing is like they start threatening your life,
job,
your job and
like
all of
that.
that. So it's like you say it's so good, but then you're using what I need in life to threaten me with. So you threaten me, okay, I can't go to work. How am I supposed to pay my bills? And then you start saying that, okay, if you're not taking your shot, you can't fly, you can't do certain things. So you're basically trying to trap me into a box. But now, crazy thing is that, okay, so-called COVID has died down. All of a sudden, because people took shots, COVID is pretty much gone. No, you don't hear about COVID that much anymore. So, is it a whole Ponzi scheme or what? Nah, cause
who knows?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. During this COVID thing, my eyes open a lot, and it's crazy because people want to control people so much over. Like, pretty much, people want to control people so much to the point where they start trying to implement so many laws and rules and all of that. Hey, I appreciate the health workers and all of that. You guys are doing your job. I appreciate it very much. But then those people that want to sit around, experiment on stuff that they don't know what it can cause, and then cause an outbreak. I don't even know if COVID is real. I mean, I can't say it's real or fake because I've never gotten it. But I mean, I've had a family who has had it, and it was pretty bad. But
so it got to be real then.
I mean, yeah, I'll say it is, but then I haven't experienced it myself, and God forbid I don't want to experience it myself. But then it's like, how the hell did COVID even start?
Yeah.
And of course, they always want to blame another country for it. But then, how did it really start?
I mean, it's just the research. That's all.
And
I mean, the thing is, that's because they're like, in order for you to like grow, you have to experiment. You have to do something.
So then that
you
means
have to
that you
find
have to,
out.
So
that's how all these disease and stuff like that are being created. It's just finding out what we can do better. That's research. Being a scientist. That's what it is.
So human curiosity, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Then this leads me to the Ebola thing because
pretty much.
Thing is,
I think that's
they were doing experiment on
Africans.
On monkeys. It was on monkeys, and then the production got shut down for some reason, and then those monkeys went inside the bush. And of course, people
started eating them.
Eating them. That's how Ebola started. But that started. I forgot what country.
I always have to disagree.
I don't know if
it was Congo.
It was first Congo, and then it stopped. And then like few years later, it came back to Liberia. But pretty much that's how it's just an experiment.
That's what.
What do you
no
think?
Offense,
what do you think they use monkeys and rat for? It's for experiment.
No, I understand. But the thing is, like, I don't always like going. I don't always like going to the white people. Sorry, I'm a very. I don't want to seem racist.
You want to
but
check this one real quick also for your friend?
Nah, it's good.
That's a job, so you don't have to name call. That's just
no. So it's just
you can find black person. You can find Indian being scientists.
I don't. Okay, let me not say white people.
This
I don't.
Scientists.
So let me just put it this way. I don't like how the colonizers want to make themselves pretty much seem like they're not the cause of certain things. And I don't want to also blame people. But then my thing is, Africa itself has always been a continent where they never really asked for them to give shots. Like, let me say, Africa always had its way of healing its people. Let me put it that way. And it goes back into history. Africa has always had its way of healing people. And to this day, it still has its way of healing people. Right? And my thing is, that monkey thing of the Ebola thing, I feel like it's bullshit. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, wow, you're testing Ebola, and then you let out the monkeys to go back into the wild. Okay, so you're telling me that because the program ended, you'd say, okay, let me just let the monkeys back into the wild. It won't affect anything. Come on, man.
No, the only issue I have with it, it's like when they're doing all these experiments, right? Why can't they do it in like other continents? It's always in Africa, right?
No,
because where they're guinea pig, where
the corona was in China.
Yeah. No.
How do you know it was in China?
That's where it started.
But then my thing is, right?
No, because the things that even with the COVID as well, right? There was just one time where they were like looking for a cure and stuff. We have people in the media was just like, oh man, why can't they just go test it in Africa and stuff like that? And they were just saying it casually, like there's nothing wrong with it, you know.
That's where like they were sending, a lot. But even though in Africa there were like no COVID, cases.
No, it's like people like really like look very, very down on Africa. Even like when it comes to like the war between Ukraine and Russia as well. We have instances where like people was like things like this don't happen. Yeah, it happens in Africa. It happens like in the Middle East.
Right.
Russia is the only country to never have invaded Africa. If you guys didn't know that.
Is it?
It's the only country to never have invaded Africa.
They only try to invade probably the neighboring countries.
So my thing is,
like that's the name they used to call them, the Soviet Union.
Soviet Union. Yeah.
So my thing is, anybody that believes in the fact that the white people are there to help, I call that bullshit.